Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Left Jab, and we are going to review One Piece chapter 1000. I know I already did it before, but that was the scans, and I want to do the official for this one because it was chapter 1000, and I just wanted to discuss different things about it and just go over it. So before we get into it, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, all that fun stuff, and let's get into it. So obviously the first part we got to talk about is the color spread. It looks amazing. We have Nami, Jinbei, Brook, Luffy, everyone's in it. And I really love Brook's hair. I love that it's a different color. I love that Oda does that sometimes where he does the blue or the red or just changes up his hair color. And yeah, it's just a really nice picture. I love Jinbei holding the sword. I think that's really cool. Obviously Nami looks great as always. Yeah, the whole thing just looks great. And it's a great cover poster for chapter 1000. So obviously we all know that this chapter is titled Straw Hat Luffy. Now we see Luffy inside the castle on the 5th floor. We see the musketeers before Luffy, letting him know that they cleared the stairway so Luffy can go up. Luffy then mentions to Sicilian that he remembered everything he did to protect Raizo, and that caused Sicilian to start tearing up and crying. This whole event of Luffy getting there, going up to fight Kaido, going up to fight Big Mom, and save and rescue Wano is so emotional for the Minks, for the people of Wano, and it's so huge. And it's just great to see an emotional moment like that right there. But that's not the last emotional moment we will see. So now the next part of this chapter, on page 2, we have Queen, King, and Marco all going at it. Marco is awesome and maybe stronger than he looks. I don't know. We'll have to wait until the next couple chapters to see what happens between him, King, and Queen. But for a moment, he gets them both in like a headlock. That looks really cool. We also do notice, before I even get into the rest of that Queen is able to extend his neck, and he looks like he is some type of cyborg or something like that. So it's really interesting to see that, and I really want to figure out what Queen is, and maybe we'll find that out in the future. It's also really crazy and funny to note that Queen doesn't really know much about Marco, and he says, what's with his powers? Is he invincible? So it's kind of funny because you would think that these top commanders of Yonko would know the powers of someone like Marco the Phoenix. Marco is so popular and so well known around the world because of Whitebeard, and he's his 1st Division commander. You'd think that they would know a little bit about him. So where we left off was Marco getting them in those chokeholds, but at the same time, he's throwing Zoro to the roof. The next page we get is Momo talking to Yamato, and Momo is confused about the initial D, and he mentions that, oh, that's in my father's journal. Yamato then mentions that she never thought she would meet Momo and that she has his journal for him. So she is handing over Momo's journal. So she's handing over Odin's journal to Momo, and also mentioning that someone must have kept it safe, which maybe Kawamatsu, but I don't know, it could be someone else. I think that little detail was thrown in, and we'll find out at some point who it is. She also explains that it contains everything there is to know about Odin's life on the sea and his whole journey and experience. That moment really was touching for me, especially. Like I mentioned in my last review, I received a gift from my grandfather who passed away a couple months before Christmas, and I received a gift from him. It was a compass with an inscribing in it, and it was just really special to me, and I could totally understand why Momo is getting emotional about this, because he's about to learn about his father, who he's just a kid and he barely got to know. I grew up and I got to know my grandfather really well, and so getting this last little piece of him that he had made before he died was just amazing and incredible, and I totally connect with Momo on this. So next we get some cool panels where Yamato is talking, saying, "You were born on Whitebeard's ship, weren't you? And then you went on Roger's ship." They said that in the future, over 20 years later, the new world here would be overrun by young, powerful new pirates. And as she's saying that, in those panels is Trafalgar Law, Eustace Kid, and Killer all fighting their way to the roof. And then Yamato mentions that that is what's happening now. And she believed that Ace was the first among them to get there. And then it goes back to the flashback where Ace is saying, "That was a slip of the tongue, I wasn't supposed to say that." And he's talking about this moment where he had with Luffy, when he remembered that Luffy had this moment where he stated something to them and it made him and Sabo laugh. But he also said if anyone else laughs and makes fun of it, then they would never forgive that person. And the crazy thing is that Yamato said that she's not going to laugh at him. She said that those were the same words that the king of the pirates spoke. Now, there's a little controversy in this next couple lines, but she does mention that there was a great man who said the same thing. And Ace mentioned that he would have loved to have a drink with him, and she mentioned to him that he was dead. The next thing that happens is we find out that Yamato is the one who made the Viver card, which is crazy because all the way back when Luffy got the piece of Viver card from Ace back in Alabasta, goes all the way back to chapter 1000 where we find out it was Yamato who gave it to him. So that's a really cool connection that we have. The flashback ends with Ace leaving and Yamato telling him that he needs to come back and they will see each other again someday. She then mentions that she learned that Ace was Roger's son and that his little brother was Luffy. And as she's saying that, it shows Luffy racing up the stairs and crashing through the doors to get to the roof of Onigashima. But the next page, which is a double page spread, is nothing short of amazing and epic. We see Luffy getting to the top, and it shows him looking at Big Mom and Kaido. But standing alongside him is Kid, Killer, Zoro, his left hand, and Trafalgar Law. It shows Kaido saying, "Straw Hat," and then Big Mom saying, "All these fetching young heads ripe for the taking," which I think is awesome because she knows that these guys are powerful and they made a name for themselves, but she's ready to take them all down. And then when you see them all standing against each other, the 5 supernova against the 2 Yonko, it has Odin stating, "Over 20 years in the future, powerful pirates leading the next generation will come swarming into the new world. If I am dead by then, they will be the ones to strike down Kaido." That is a chilling line, and it just gives you goosebumps knowing that Odin knew something about the future, that it was going to be okay. And that's probably why he died with a smile on his face, because he remembered that line and knew that this next generation is going to come in and take care of business. We then see Luffy walk right between the 2 Yonko like they aren't even there. He doesn't bother even flinching when he walks next to them, which I think no other character in the series would do. And I really think that is a huge feat within itself, because you see just how tiny he is compared to these hulking figures. Kaido mentions to Big Mom that she's not even going to believe what he said to her, and she says, "He said the same thing to me," and that Luffy owes an apology to her for destroying his castle. Zoro's then looking at Kaido, ready to step in probably and help his captain. But Kaido says to Luffy that he wants him to state what he's going to do. And then we see Luffy going down to Kinemon, picking him up with Kinemon bloodied, coughing up blood, not doing so well. And he tells him that he's sorry for taking so long. And then it shows all the other scabbards laying there bloodied and beaten. Kinemon then mentions that he is bringing shame to Odin and that he's not going to be able to face him in the afterlife. But Luffy says, "Do not worry about that, I will take them on." And as Kaido starts swinging down his club, Luffy turns to Law and tells him to send the scabbards below so they don't get hurt by what's about to happen. Now as Kaido is swinging down, Luffy jumps in the air to dodge the attack. And as he's doing that, he starts punching right down back at Kaido to counterattack him. But while he's doing that, he's thinking of all the different moments that Kaido inflicted pain on the people he's fighting for right now. He remembers when Raizo was safe and the horrible things the Minks went through. He remembers all these different moments in which the people of Wano and the Minks went through horrible times just for this moment to fight Kaido. And with that strength and that motivation behind Luffy's punch, he releases a new attack in third gear called Red Rock, which, if you look it up, and a lot of people have already talked about this, apparently the word rock has something to do with an ancient bird. And so that is equated to his other attack, Red Hawk. And then he made this one Red Rock. And it's really cool. If you don't know about it, look it up. It's some ancient mythical bird. And it's just a really cool attack that he integrated into taking on Kaido. And my guess is that he uses Ryo because he goes down and punches Kaido, and it actually affects him because we hear Big Mom saying, "Kaido, how could you let him do that?" And when Kaido gets up, he looks really mad. He looks bloodied. He looks like that attack actually did some damage, which is crazy because before, Luffy used some Gear 4 attacks, which didn't do anything to Kaido. He just tanked them. But this one was Gear 3rd, so we know that Luffy not only grew in strength while he was in the prisoner mines with the shackles on, he grew in strength with his body physically, but also with his new haki. We know that he gained that power as well with Ryo. But finally, after Luffy finished his attack with Kaido, he says, "I am Monkey D. Luffy, and I am going to be the king of the pirates." And that is how this amazing chapter ends. What a great chapter, a great ending, and an amazing start to 2021. I cannot wait to see what the rest of the series has. I can't wait to see what happens with this fight with Big Mom and Kaido and the rest of the Wano arc. I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for my other content. And as always, remember to be kind to others. See ya.